Good evening. Welcome to the Friday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. My name is William Michael Forbes. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach. And Shortcuts for Your Soul is an educational program for bringing people to the concept and understanding of their own ascension, who and what you are as a divine being here, having a material experience of expressing through matter into time and space. Today I have a collective with me called the Ascended, and the statement they wanted to offer up everybody is that your thoughts are not you. This is so important to get to this understanding that thoughts are not you. Fascinating. Thoughts are not you. And this is so important. A lot of people are suffering because of their thoughts. A lot of people are suffering because of their thoughts, believing that their thoughts are who they are, that your thoughts have a greater validity to who you are than your own awareness of who you are has. And so when they came in this morning, one of the things they did in my meditation, they told me this morning, which is something unusual, they said, leave the windows open. And it's quite noisy here. This is downtown Toronto. So right now we got beautiful windows that keep the sound out. But they said, leave your windows open and allow yourself to just listen to everything that's going on and watch what happens in your mind. And so I did that. I sat in my meditation. I allowed my awareness to go out into the space, aware of all the sounds, and I could watch how my mind would identify that's a truck, that's a bird, that's a car, that's someone speaking, that's someone yelling. Those are the sounds of the wind blowing outside the window. And the mind is labeling everything that it hears out there based on what it's been programmed to believe those things are. But it's not who I am. These thoughts that I have about that, and your thoughts about the world that you're in right now, are not who you are. Your thoughts are not who you are. You will suffer or thrive depending on the nature of your thoughts if you believe that you are them. As we know very clearly that there are many of you that believe that your thoughts are so real that they will kill your body. They cannot kill you. Thoughts cannot kill you, but they can harm your body. Did you know that? That thoughts can harm your body. This is a very fascinating thing to understand. The thoughts are not you. Your thoughts are not you, but they can harm your body and they can create your world experiences, and they do. You ask anybody, we've talked to many beings that have left their body because they thought they were so unimportant and insignificant, their thoughts were telling them that they had no value or no meaning, and their thoughts would repeat that, and their thoughts would repeat that, and they would believe that, and they think the body was no good, and they would leave the body. And after they leave the body, they go, oh my goodness, what happened? I'm still alive. I still exist. And we say to them quite simply, you believed you were your thoughts. You are not your thoughts. It is so imperative that you understand this, all of you, that your thoughts are merely information stored within the structure of your biology in the form of electrical information that is conditioned by information provided from the 5 physical senses. But they are not you. They are merely ways of interpreting or believing that things are a certain way or are not a certain way, including what you think about that body you're in. And many of you believe that your body is who you are. Many of you believe that your thoughts are who you are, and you are bound to suffer or thrive according to the quality of those thoughts in your mind. There are very few of you that are discerning about what thoughts you allow to go in your mind. Very few of you. And yet there are a lot of you are suffering because of them. Needlessly to say that you don't need to suffer. Suffering is unnecessary for who you are. Creation is your only function. Creation is your only function. And thoughts are a mechanism of your creation while you are existing in a dimensional form as that body and this world, what you call a three-dimensional realm of experience that is defined and articulated and affected by what you are being, what you are thinking, and what you are doing as a result of what you are thinking and being. And your being is free to be attached to a thought that says, I'm no good. And your being is free to be attached to a thought that says, I am a wondrous extension of love here. You are free to choose what thought you will align to, but in no case are you ever your thoughts. You are the awareness that encompasses, encapsulates, sustains, holds thought in consciousness, in energy. You can observe a thought, can you not? You can observe a thought. And in your observation of it, you are not it. But many of you believe that it is more real than you as the observer. And isn't that silly? And so it is very true. A thought can kill your body if you believe it enough. A thought can cause you to harm another if you believe it is more real than who you are. A thought can cause you to make mistakes if you believe that's who you are, because then the thought and yourself are one and the same thing. And when you, whatever you choose to be at one with, you will experience. And so if you wish to experience this thing called death, you will experience the loss of a body, but you yourself cannot die. But there will be consequences to your thoughts that you align yourself to. So we are simply here to say to you that your thoughts are not you. And the process that you may engage in distinguishing between your thoughts and your awareness liberates you back into the deliberate process of selective creation, where you get to choose qualities of thoughts, information, ideas that will enable you to create an expression and an experience here that you won't be in such a hurry to get away from. But if you indulge in the creation of thoughts that are based in suffering and you believe them to be true, then your experience will be one of suffering. And you cannot escape the effects of your thoughts, but you can change the thoughts and therefore change the effects and have nothing to need to escape. If your thoughts are the recognition of how exquisitely beautiful and unique you are, without reference to what others might think about you, because even what you think about what others think about you is a thought that you align yourself to. And in aligning yourself to that thought, you get to experience it, even if they are not actually thinking it. Even if they're not actually thinking it, all you have to do is think a thought. And if you believe it, you get to experience it. And you are free at the moment you perceive a thought that is not pleasing to say, no, that is not a thought I'm going to give attention to. And then there's this thing called energy that your thoughts set in motion. Qualities of energy that your thoughts set in motion. Thoughts like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Sets an energy in motion. And thoughts like, wow, what a wonderful day this can be. Sets an energy in motion. And what is an energy in motion but emotion? And you may set it in motion by where you put your attention. What thought will you give your attention to? When you give your attention to anything, you are giving it energy. You are giving it emotion. You are energy. And so you may give attention to those thoughts that are pleasing or those thoughts that are not so pleasing, and you will create emotions. I'm no good will create an emotion. I am wonderful will create an emotion. I am joyful will create an emotion. I am sad will create an emotion. You create. You are made in the image and likeness of creating. Are you not? You are not your thoughts. And there is great confusion on your planet and with all of the people here because of this misconception, this misconception. In other words, you give life, or you conceive, you misconception, you give life to ideas and thoughts that cause you suffering repeatedly. And if you cannot do it yourself, then you will find someone else that will give you thoughts that will cause you to suffer. And that is an even bigger problem, that many of you are getting your thoughts from other sources that are not very good sources to get your thoughts from. People will offer you their ideas and their information about how terrible life can be and how you should not trust anybody and you should not go over there and you should not do this. And they will give you their thoughts, and many of you accept them without even considering the energy that those thoughts will precipitate in your experience. Because even if somebody gives you a thought that says you're no good, you're terrible, I don't like you, you're a bad soul, even if they give you terrible thoughts, it is your choice to accept them or not. It is your choice to accept them or not. You can say, they don't know me. I'm a beautiful being. I am love in expression. I respect and honor the being of my expression. I respect and honor others. You do not have to accept any thought as your own, but any thought you accept will become your experience. And so we encourage you today to be mindful of what you will choose in terms of thought. It is thought in its electrical movement through your biology. It is thought in its electrical movement through your biology that causes certain emotional qualities that you call love or fear. The electrical movement, the displacement of energy with thought creates a certain quality of energy called emotion. And you may change that. You may alter that. You may edit that, and you may delete that. It is very simple. And we've heard some of you say, oh, but this is so loud, I feel so terrible and so bad. Well, that is your thought, and you align to it. Why are you aligning to it? Well, I try to turn my mind away from it, but it's so loud. Well, do not listen. Stop listening to it. Eventually it will stop. You can even use your breath. We have said this in many other occasions, and many others of us have come through this one to say this too. Why not? Use your breath. It is an absolute assertion of your dominion over matter, at least the matter of the body that you're in when you breathe. It is an assertion of your absolute dominion over that body. And if you can assert your breath over that body, then you can certainly assert your attention over your thoughts to liberate yourself from those thoughts. Use your breath. I will align myself to this breath of life, that I bring this life into this body. I bring life into this body, and I bring life into my mind. With my breath, I release these thoughts that cause me to suffer. With my breath, I release these emotions that have caused me to suffer. I release them. You can do this. All of you are in the image and likeness of creating that you can create as well. But what you should choose with one mind or another, with one hand or another, determines what it is your creation will be. And you cannot blame your creator if you choose to create something that causes suffering. It simply says, ask. If you wish to ask for suffering, you will have suffering. If you wish to ask for joy, you will have joy. But this asking is a deliberate choosing, and not simply a matter of something being bestowed upon you by your creator. You must ask. And in asking is an act of creation. I am relinquishing my sadness with my breath. I'm relinquishing my thoughts that I am no good with my breath. And I'm going to align my creative attention to the wonder and beauty of my uniqueness. That intelligence and love manifests itself through my very physical being as a heartbeat, as a transformer of energy in the ways of food being converted into this magical and wondrous instrument right now. you can change your thoughts. You are not your thoughts, nor will you ever be. And if you choose to align your attention to suffering, then suffering you will in that body, but your true nature does not suffer. You cannot cease to exist as the body can, for the body is a finite construction of creating that you have a degree of responsibility over. You can articulate creation through that body with your thoughts and the energy or emotions that those thoughts stimulate by the very nature and quality and the vibration with which those thoughts move. A vibration, a thought form of joy cultivates a very different energy through matter than does a thought of fear and uncertainty. But our goal today is to simply get you to understand that thoughts are not you. Not the thoughts that this world offers you, not the thoughts that this world has given you, not even the thoughts that you would choose to hold your attention on. They are not you. They're instruments of creating, instruments of organizing the matter of your experience into the conditions that you observe at this moment. You have organized the conditions of your experience with the thoughts and the energy those thoughts stimulate into manifestation. And that manifestation is what you call your experience at this moment, which you can change if you are so willing and ready to do so. You have no choice. You are a creating consciousness. It is your nature to create. The choice you have is in what you will create. And you begin by being aware of what thought you hold in your mind in any moment. And you may deem it worthy or unworthy. You may decide, no, I will not accept this thought. I will align myself to this thought. You are free to choose. And in your freedom to choose, you execute your divine natural expression to create the conditions of your world as an individual and also as a collective. Thoughts of fear create very different expressions in matter than do thoughts of love. There's great evidence that both of those statements are happening on this planet, both love and fear, but you cannot escape the effects of love or fear. They're very unique and distinct and experienced very differently. I love these guys. The Ascended. I'm in my meditation, and as I'm allowing myself to be aware of how our minds have been trained from the moment we were born into a physical body. The moment your body was born in this world, it was getting programmed, downloaded information from the environment, not just from the other dimensions. Information is downloaded into your senses through sight, sound, touch, taste, smell. That information gets downloaded in the brain from this level, as equally as we can have information downloaded from other dimensions of consciousness into this system as well. When you become aware that there are certain things in your mind and body that are not suitable to the experience you want to have, you then begin to awaken to the possibility that you have choice, You have choice over what you shall allow in your temple, in your mind, in that body. So, you are not your thoughts. Thoughts are not you. They are not you. Yet you can create them. You can relinquish them. You can accept them. You can deny them. But you cannot ignore that you are not your thoughts. When you come to this understanding, truly, you begin that journey up to we'll use the term your Father's house, the Creator's house, when you begin that journey that says, I do not have to accept this or this, I wish to choose something different than what I'm familiar with, you begin to reorganize what is in your mind, you begin to change what is in your house, and you'll find freedom. But let us go forward and let us hear you now. Let us hear what you have to say. Thank you, guys. Good morning, Marigold. Hello, Edgar, Patricia. Hello, Allison. Good morning, Bogdamila. Ruth, hi. What do I do now? Thank you so much. Ruth, breathe. The very first thing you do is breathe. Bring yourself into this moment. All fear is the word they're saying, all fear is the bastard of a future that has not occurred. All depression is the attachment to a past which is already over. Bring yourself into this moment with your breath. Bring yourself into this moment with your breath. And from that breath, from this moment, what would you choose? Are you love? Would you choose to be love? Can you choose that? Can you say, love is my true nature? Can you think that thought after breathing into this moment? Love is my true nature. Put all of your attention on that thought. Love is my true nature. Love is my true nature. Put all of your attention on that thought, and you will feel a different energy move into your body. For you are now moving into creating consciously. You may breathe again and simply say, something exciting is coming. You may have that thought. Something exciting is coming. Consider that thought. When you choose a thought consciously and deliberately and mindfully, it generates a movement in energy, which you call emotion. And sometimes that movement of new emotion or new energy from suffering to joy, sometimes that subtle shift is a little slow at first because you may be thinking about your first joyful thought ever. But the moment you align to that, I am joy. Joy is my nature. Joy is my true nature. Love is my true nature. To give those thoughts your sincere attention, you will feel gentle, ever so slight movement if you are very, very entrenched in your suffering. But you'll feel a slight movement. And then if you do that again, I can be more of this. I can be more joy. I can be more love. It is my true nature. As you give attention to those ideations, you find yourself beginning to move away from your suffering. You create, you change your path, you turn the other cheek, you look away from that which displeases you. And so breathe, and in your breath rejoice, for you are asserting your creating over your form, saying, I align you to this moment. And then when you choose a thought, I'm excited about what is to come. You change that whole process of energy and its movement through that physical form in which you are residing at this time. You are not suffering. Breathe, be in this moment. And please share with others what you are experiencing in doing this. Share on these comments what you are experiencing when you do this. As the world gave you thoughts that have caused you to suffer, we will give you thoughts that cause you to awaken, to remember the splendor of your creating, that you are a creator, that you have dominion over your world by way of thought, attention, and energy. Morning, Janine. Hi. One love. Good morning. Hello. I am universe. Hello, Mike. Hello, Mario. It is a beautiful, brand new day. So yeah, the Ascended came in. I'm getting goosebumps because I can feel them charging up some more. Understanding. As I was moving my awareness out and I could hear the garbage trucks, let me give you an idea. I want, just so you know how noisy it is here. I just want to do this just to do this. Just so you understand. We'll do this quickly. So we'll just leave the window open for a second. And you can hear the noises of the city start to emerge. And when there's fire trucks going by and the garbage trucks are doing their run at 5:30 to 7:30 in the morning, they're banging things around and clanging things around. It's a lot of what most people would call distractions. And yet, in truth, none of it is a distraction because I am not caught up in or locked into this thing. I'm just the awareness that is embracing all of it. So I'm aware of the garbage truck. I'm aware of the cars on the road. I'm aware of the door on the truck closing down the street. But I'm not distracted or disturbed by it. I'm just aware. And the process of liberating yourself from the contents of your mind and body are very similar. Very similar. So that when your mind and your emotions are like, in your mind, you need to go into that place of just being aware of it for starters and realizing it's not you. It's not you. All that stuff is not you. But you're aware of all that noise in your mind as I am aware of all the noise going on around this space and time. But I'm not disturbed nor distracted nor perturbed by any of it because I know it's not who I am. The things that I see or hear or smell or touch or taste are not who I am. I am aware of them. I'm aware of their sensations, the frequency and tones of their sounds, the sound of the wind. There's different things. The point is simple. The moment you can move your awareness to that position where you realize, oh, these are just thoughts in my mind. These are just emotions that are connected to certain thoughts in my mind. They're not who I am. The minute you move into that position, you shift out of being subjective to being in a place of creation. And that is important. To be in that place of awareness where you are not subjugated by the thoughts, emotions, and ideas of your mind are no different than the so-called events of time and space in this physical world around you. You can be aware of them and undisturbed or undistracted by them. You know you can. The moment you are awareness, you are separate from that which you are aware of. You can observe it. You can observe it very carefully. And so many of you will observe thoughts that are not pleasant in your mind, and many of you will observe emotions that don't feel good, and then you get caught up in this is who I am. No, you're aware of that emotion. You're aware of that thought. It's not who you are. And simply observing will begin a process of liberating yourself from its effects. It's just the beginning for some of you. For others of you that are listening to this, you realize, this is a deeper level where I am no longer this body, I'm no longer this mind. I am awareness that is able to move at any point of time and space with my consciousness. Because I'm not this form. I merely articulate an aspect of my consciousness through this finite form. Yes, so let's move up here. Wonderful. Hello, artist. Hello, Wei. Wei is asking, what is the right, legitimate way to use the mind or thoughts? We love this question. We do not discern right or wrong in the context of creation. We determine that your experience will help you to identify whether or not your creative process is one that is pleasing to you. To begin the process of articulating the distinction between your awareness, your thoughts, and your emotion is the first step, that you are awareness aware of thoughts, that you are awareness aware of emotion. You are the awareness, you are not the thoughts, you are not the emotions. In that perspective of awareness, you are in the position of creation. And for those of you that are overwhelmed by certain emotions, we know this happens to many of you far too often, that you find yourselves overwhelmed with certain emotions. and you are lost in your emotions, but you are only identified with them, you may use the assertion of your breath, the very nature of your breath. And you breathe, you are asserting authority over that temple with your breath. Understand the significance of this one simple act, and you will liberate yourself rapidly from subjectivity to the confines of this world. And you'll have something wonderful to contribute to it from the perspective of who you are. So start with your breath. And when the thoughts in your mind seek to distract you, just be aware of them. Do not go to them. Do not embrace them. Just be aware. Oh, there's a thought that I am no good. There's a thought that I have to worry about something. There's a thought, and there's now an emotion that's a fearful emotion, but I'm aware of it. Remind yourself that you are aware of, that you are not it. You are aware of. That distinction in awareness between object and subject begins the process of articulating or extracting yourself from the personality that this world has imposed upon that body-mind. You begin to extricate yourself from subjectivity to it, and now you move into a position of objectivity where you can then say, what thought would I choose to think that would cause me to generate an energy or an emotion that would be pleasing to me? A thought like, I am wondrous, but there's an emotion inside that seems to say, no, but I don't feel that way. But you are aware that the emotion, you are aware of it, is not you. You keep your attention away from it. Turn away from it. Turn away from that. Go back to the thought. There is something wondrous about who I am as awareness. Those emotions I'm aware of are not who I am. And then, as a creating being, you may turn to that emotion and say, I'm willing to love you. I'm willing to love you. And if you extend love to that which suffers is healed by your love. Is it not true when somebody is in pain and you give them love, they begin to feel better? Why are your body and mind any less? If you have emotions in that body that are suffering and painful and uncomfortable, why attack them? Why seek to get rid of them? Why not give them your love? You will be surprised at how quickly and easily you'll begin to assert a loving authority over that body. Instead of drugging it, many of you try to use drugs and other substances to get rid of those emotions that are uncomfortable, but that's no different than because a child is hungry and wants food, you would throw it out the door because it's hungry and annoying you. Why would you treat yourself in such a fashion? So simply become aware that those emotions that are suffering require your love. You'll be surprised at what your love will do to certain emotions. You can do this right now. You can simply breathe, and if you have any displeasing emotion inside you, be willing to extend your love to it. I'm willing to love you even if I do not understand you. I'm willing to love you even if I do not understand you. That awareness, that part of you that feels that coming from you goes, oh, I am seen, I am honored, I am heard, I am felt. But you do not have to become as it is, but give it your love. It will transform. It will transform very easily. Thank you. Thank you for your question, Wei. Hi, Nikki. Question from Nikki. Can I ask the communication I received from an old friend this morning was a pivotal nexus point. Thank you so much, William. Many blessings. You already know the answer to that. That's why you're asking the question. They're saying that right now. You already know the answer to that. It may be the nexus, and it may be just one of many nexus. But you understand that you are generating into your experience the very thing that you are creating. And if it is the nexus of an exquisite turning point in your life, and you feel that, then that is what you are creating. And we say to you, enjoy this, for you are now being more deliberate and more conscious. As long as you continue to place that the events outside of you are random, unknown, recognizing that you are actually generating them, you are manifesting them deliberately, intentionally, suddenly you'll begin to welcome things into your life when you know you are deliberately participating in their manifestation. as equally as you can say to the things that do not please you, I'm going to choose to create something else in my life. It takes time, it takes patience, it takes perseverance for many of you. Thank you so much. Hi, Tina. A question: can my higher self speak to me through emotion? I feel that's what happened this morning as I stayed aware. And understand, emotion is energy in motion. So absolutely, your higher self is saying that beam that came into thy head, that beam that came in there, is our hands holding. You are joining with me now. You are reuniting with me. What do you mean by that? You're ending the separateness between your body and your mind and the being that you are. You're ending the separation and allowing the higher frequencies to come into the body. You can bring love into the body. Even if your body is filled with fear and anger and guilt and shame, you can literally draw love down into the body. You can draw love down into your body at will, anytime. Okay? I think you got our point about the noise, that any distraction can only be a distraction if you believe that's what it is. Yes. Okay, so here you are, wanting to be free. So your higher self is grateful and very excited that you're uniting your body. Hi, Victorious. Hello, Adam. Can you ask Archangel Michael on if my friend Bashir has any potential plans on blackmailing me, and if I should stay away from him? What should I do? Wow. Interesting creating. If I ask him directly, you already know the vibration. Why would you hold that in your heart? The circumstance and situation is able to change if you relinquish yourself from your fears. You have a very natural and automatic tendency to align yourself to suffering because this is the way you were conditioned, to expect that someone is going to get you, that someone is going to hurt you. And this is simply a learned behavior. It's not who you are. But if you align yourself to what is the vibration of my love aligned to, we would simply say to you that at this moment that you are not very well aligned to your love. You are still aligned to your fear in many of the endeavors that you participate in. Liberate yourself from your fear and approach all things from love, and they will approach you. He's saying there's going to be a change when you do this. When you make a decision to say, I'm not going to stay in fear, if you're feeling a vibration of fear coming from that experience, let it go. Align yourself to a vibration of love. You know what feels like love, what feels like fear. You know the difference. But many of you are fearful that you're not going to get what you want because it has to come in a certain way. It doesn't quite work that way. It comes exactly the way that's right for you and in direct proportion and ratio to the emotion that you have. The intensity and degree of any emotion that we are aligned to determines the manifestation at any time. At any time. Doesn't matter. Wherever your emotion is, the experiences in your world match the emotional qualities that you hold in your own body and mind. Once you learn to change the emotional qualities in your body and mind, your world will start changing around you. It's really fun. Very exciting. Thank you, Adam. Hi, Dion. A message from my higher self, please, William. Much love and gratitude. I don't know. I'm just saying smile. Put a big smile on your face and feel that. Put a big smile on your face and feel that. That feeling is the message. That feeling will conspire with you to do something different. Hi, Ruth. Yes. Hi, Sunny. Question from Sunny. I saw lots of flashes of light a few days ago and specks of gold white in the shower. What was this? Thank you very much. I don't know if you've ever heard, but there's a group of beings called Ashtar command. And these beings work with you. And you might want to look into that. Ashtar command. And there's a being that works with them very closely called Commander Adama. And you might want to connect to them. They're trying to get information into your awareness. A lot of you perceive the signals of your guides, your angels, the multidimensional beings you're working with. You'll get number sequences, you'll get flashes of light, you get something, a loud bang or something happening around you. And you've got to get the understanding that it's not the phenomena that's the message, it's the vibration in the sensation. But many people react to these sudden changes from a biological standpoint. So you get a flashlight and your body reacts like, what is that? And now the fear that your body goes into automatically around an event suddenly blocks the actual message, right? Because fear is a low vibrational energy. Most of you still try to perceive us through your body, but you can perceive us more effectively through what you are aware of as a sensation, not a sensation of the body, but as a vibration. We know you can feel who we are, you know we exist, but you must get past the filter of your body so that you can feel and hear our presence in the words and wisdom that we offer you. Thank you so much. Let's scroll down a little further here. There we are there. Here's a question from Wade. We're supposed to quiet the mind all the time. Are we supposed to quiet the mind all the time, or does the mind have a legitimate purpose? The mind has a legitimate function. The mind has no purpose. It has a function. The purpose of mind is what you place into it will cause and interact with matter to cause action. So if I place an idea of excitement in my mind, then my body, I can feel my heart rate change, I can feel my body posture change, the energy changes, so the expression changes. So mind does not have purpose, it has function. And its function is based on the quality of thoughts and the emotional energy that those thoughts generate through body. Because emotion causes all actions. The thought causes the electrical charge, the physical form reacts to it in the form of an emotional expression. All emotion organizes matter. All emotion organizes matter. But your mind in and of itself does not have a purpose. It has a function that you are to use. You use its function to create ideas, conceptions, energies that cause actions and expressions in time-space for the process of creating experiences in this physical world. But the mind has no purpose. It has a function. Great question, Wei. Thank you very much. Good morning, Drusilla. Yes, they are collective. Question from Skyheart. When and if we go to 5D, will we continue to shift in and out of 3, 5D until each human collectively joins? That's a choice. We can experience any level of consciousness we align ourselves. So we've all just chosen to align to this dimensional experience. But we are simultaneously connected to 4th, 5th, 6th, multi-dimensions, most of which most people aren't aware of because they're so attached to this one. A really good example is what the Ascended were saying earlier when they're saying, when you get attached to a painful thought and a negative emotion, your whole world becomes that thought and that emotion. And now everything else doesn't matter. You're lost in that little point. And most of us are lost in this point of body mind as being the locus of our identity. And it's not. It's merely a conduit for expression, creative expression. So you can move your awareness out of your body. I mean, it is out of your body anyway. And close your eyes. You can be aware of your body. Where are you? You're still aware. You can move your awareness around the body. You're still aware, but you're aware of the space around your body. Are you the body or you're the space around your body? You're both. So you can learn to move your awareness out of being locked into the identity of physical body alone. In the meditations and stuff we do in our courses and classes, students often will experience themselves as becoming all things and feeling like the whole world is part of who they are and the world is within them. And that's a natural phenomenon when you realize that you are not the body, you are not the mind. It is an instrument that you are functioning through as an infinite potential of consciousness, that you can affect it, even the quality of its health, to the finest degree. You can make your body as sick as you want. You can make it as healthy as you want by the nature and quality of your emotions. You can take a condition of disease and convert it into a state of health. You can take a state of health and convert it into disease, and you don't even need proof of that because it's going on the planet all the time, where there are people that are sick and there are people that are healthy, and there are manifestations of the creative process, right? And it is. It's a manifestation of your creative process. So you can be on any dimension you want. I have learned to open myself up to receive other levels of dimensional information from many different beings, because they know there are beings that know a lot more about the creative process than I do. Even on this physical planet, there are beings that know a lot more about how to build a car, or make a rocket ship, or do a mathematical calculation than I do. And I can learn from them here. But there's also these other dimensions. So you are not limited to this world. But you can choose to believe you are limited to something. You can choose to believe you're limited to this terrible thought, I'm no good. And you can believe that that's all you are. We have that power to believe that we are nothing and everything. Isn't that amazing? It's amazing. I can believe that I am so nothing that I will try to get rid of my body to validate that belief that I'm nothing, then only to be surprised after my body's gone that I'm still aware. It's very funny. You cannot end your life. You can only transform it from one state to another. You can never end your life. You can only change it from one state to another. And by that, there's a responsibility. You cannot harm the body and expect to be rewarded. The body is a temple that you are here to learn to be the caretaker of, just like this planet was given to humanity to take care of. And we've debased this planet. We've limited and restricted its expression by our consumption without regard to what our actions mean or do. Anyway, I digress a little bit. Okay, I will, I promise. They're telling me to take it easy. Have fun. One love. Wonderful. Thank you. Hello, Silver King. Hello, One Love. Hello, Tanya. Hello, Sky Heart. Patricia. Take one more question and we're going to call it a day, because we have an incredible meditation time tomorrow on Supernatural Saturday, which is at 11:30 a.m. and runs till 12:30 a.m. every Saturday. For those of you that are new here, Shortcuts for Your Soul, we run Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's live. There's no pre-recording, no introductions. It's just what it is. And then on Saturday, we do a meditation to allow the energies, the qualities of what was brought through to be integrated into our biology and into our minds. And so tomorrow should be very exciting, because it is about transcending thought, transcending body, transcending our subjectivity to what the world has conditioned us to believe we're supposed to be, and to move into that place of deliberate creation, of being able to deliberately choose thoughts, ideas, and information, and to bring them forth into manifestation. I mean, it's happening all the time. It's just that some of you don't believe you can do it, and some of you do. Right. Question from Vertical Connection. A genius is more aligned with consciousness. Absolutely. That is when you realize that you are not a finite point of being, that you can actually expand your being into all things, then you become a genius. You can have access to all knowledge, all information at all times, in any space, any place, any time, when you are aware of that possibility. You know, most of us go through life thinking, this is who I am. This is all there is. I'm just this body. I'm just this mind. I feel this way and I can't change it. Most people go through life like that. And it's okay to do that, because you're not going to die when you're just going to wake up a little later time. But yeah, once you know that you are, I mean, Robin Williams is an example of that. Robin Williams was what we call a comedic genius, but he was not limited to the identity called Robin Williams. He was liberated from that. So much so that he was able to allow this energy of joy to flow through unrestricted. I worked with him twice on two different films, and both times he was able to just open up himself and allow the universe of joy to flood humanity, right? And there are other beings. Nikola Tesla is another being that did that, and there are others. Elon Musk is another one. There are many beings that have learned to open up that limitless conduit of genius, which an all-knowing mind cannot make a mistake, and it knows everything, so it's going to be able to do anything, right? So yeah, absolutely. We are all geniuses. You know, Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about that. For those of you, he's a very fascinating soul too. Joe Dispenza talks about that idea that we are all geniuses here, and we are all geniuses. Thank you so much. That's a great question. I love it. Wow, question from JC, last question of today, folks. Can you speak about automatic writing? I am intent on being successful and would like some insight. For you. Yes, they're saying to use your opposite writing hand. For you, to use your opposite writing hand when you do this, there is less of your mind in the way of that hand. You then merely have to relinquish the fear from your body of what may come out from the hand. For your body will perceive these higher vibrations coming through it as something that is different than what it's normally used to, and it will respond to them from a vibrational perspective of instinct. So allow yourself to be willing to diminish or release that fear as you allow that hand to manifest the vibration that you align yourself to. Bring it in through the top of your head. Bring it in through the top of your head. Allow it through the hand that you normally do not write with. And you will be pleased. Once the fear is released and you are able to articulate the freedom of that expression of information as a vibration, you'll be pleased. I want to wish all of you a wonderful and a joyful day. Thank you so much for joining me here. Remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, share this information with other people. If you want to know more about the work that I do, the services I perform, and the courses we run, you can go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com, and you can get all the information about that there. Also, if you want to support this channel, you can become a member of my Patreon page, which the link is in the description box below all of my videos. So you can also support this work by becoming a Patreon member. And again, I want to thank all of you for your questions, your time, your energy, your focus. Much love to all of you. I want to thank the Ascended for being present with us today. Thank you so much. We are not alone in this universe. Much love, everybody. Bye for now.